G'day, guys, and welcome to another episode of A Spade A Spade. And we know what time it is. It's time. It's that time for Todd Boehly, for Mr. Potter to answer for their sins. And I've got one of their own in the building. I've got my man, Matt, who's going to be talking about this and that. This is a Chelsea fucking debacle. This is a Chelsea train wreck. And who better to be here than one of the best Chelsea fans I've seen out there? My guy from my fucking fellow country, Matt. Welcome to the show, bro. How you doing, bro?
All good, man. Take away the Chelsea standpoint, it's all good. But as a club, we are generally garbage. We're horrible. We're in the mud. We're going to discuss how we got there and why we're here, and can we lift up the spirits this season and somehow get back to where we were? We'll discuss it today, man. We'll discuss it today. But yeah, be up to you for having me on.
Bro, you know what? Honestly, I really appreciate you being here. This has been like I've been looking at Chelsea's fucking demise since the destruction of the Roman Empire. You know what I mean? Once I saw Roman Abramovich out the door, Caesar is dead. You know, long live Caesar. Boehly comes in. I was praying that, and this is, the Arsenal hat on. I was praying that you'd get an American owner. With the Arsenal hat off, I thought an American owner that comes in now, he's going to destroy this club. And to be honest, in less than a year, under new management, he's managed to get rid of a manager, get rid of the whole hierarchy, the staff, the backroom staff, and send you guys into a spiral, into a spin that I haven't seen since Leeds. I saw Leeds go downhill, but it wasn't this quick. I saw you guys rise, but it wasn't this quick. And I just sit there and think to myself, did the Chelsea fans, and this is one for you, did you see an American owner like Todd Boehly coming in? And was this a worrying sign before anything had started? Were you worried that an American was coming in, not an Arab sheik? Were you a little bit phased, Matt? Just wondering, because a lot of you guys weren't.
Yeah, I wasn't. I didn't look at nationality. I looked at the money he was bringing in, and I saw he was bringing a lot of money. So I wasn't really that upset. I saw he was bringing $5 billion, and he was going to invest in a new stadium. He was going to invest in the youth. I was like, great. This is it looks great on paper. Let's see where it goes. But the moment he walked in, he didn't make a great first impression. I mean, at the time he did, making all these little signings and little clickbaity, it's like clickbaity title, he clickbaits us, big transfer window, but who we signed wasn't that great. And then he comes and he sacks the manager. And for me, that was one of the biggest mistakes he's ever done at this club. Ever. One of the biggest mistakes in history, because I know some people didn't like Thomas Tuchel. He didn't like Thomas Tuchel. I think people coming here and blaming Thomas Tuchel at the time. For me, it was a Todd Boehly mistake. I think Todd Boehly, who is an American, is a very arrogant piece of shit. Very, very arrogant. And he came in, he wanted it his way. He thought he knew everything about football. He set Marina in check. He got, no replacements for him. He was the director of football. He was everything. And he thought he knew what he was doing. He had no clue. Put Koulibaly on 300K a week, 9 years, display, Cucerrella 60 mil, this and that. So he was all over the place. So there was no structure. And I think that's how he felt. He had no structure. He had no backing behind him because he didn't go sign any of those players. And then he expected Tuchel to do all that. So there was just a lot. It was a big, massive mess. It was a massive mess. But that's kind of my sense of Boehly. I don't really dislike the guy, but I don't really love him. He's been all over the place, man. He's all over the place. One time he's spent 600 million in a window, but then he sacks the manager, then he doesn't back them up. It's all over the place with the Boehly. Honestly, he is a mess. He's a flip flop, I like to call him.
But isn't this mess, this Boehly mess, pretty much the mess that Chelsea are in right now? Isn't this mess he's doing? See, a lot of people have looked at the situation that you're in. They look at the manager. They barely look at the owner. They look at the owner and said, "Oh, he spent some money. I've got a shiny new toy. I've got Sterling. I've got Koulibaly, who you should have bought maybe 3-4 years ago, not now. But it's still not a bad sign. And it seems like he's masking over the cracks of his experience, the ignorance, the arrogance. It's all mellowed into Chelsea, and now Chelsea Football Club have gone from a team that was once top three, always in the Champions League. I'm seeing you guys where I've seen you guys when I first started watching football. You were in 10th on goal difference with Aston Villa. This and I look at Todd Boehly and I look at Potter and I see the pressure that everyone's putting on Potter. Now, I'm not saying that's unfair pressure to do that to the manager, but wouldn't you agree that Todd Boehly here, he's the instigator of Chelsea's demise?
I think you're right. I think I came out here. I think I blamed Potter a couple weeks ago, but then I thought about it and I go, why am I blaming a manager who has no clue what he's doing? It's not his fault. He doesn't have a clue what he's doing. Like you can't teach a dog to fly. You can't teach Graham Potter to manage a world class team. So for me, I think it's always been Bobby's fault. Bobby's came in. He wanted his new strategy. He wanted to develop in the youth. I said whatever, that's fine. Don't really care. But for me, the turning point of Bob was sacking Tuchel. I want to dive into that because the sacking Tuchel was, I think, the start of our downfall. People say come here, they sit here and they tell me, hey, he wasn't a good manager, he wasn't the best. I'm like, fine. Will you think that of Tuchel? That's fine. But you don't go sack Thomas Tuchel for Graham Potter. And that was the start of our downfall because Graham Potter, guys, is a horrible manager. He is garbage. Before he even walked in, I said he's a shit manager because this guy at Brighton, he was more. And it was at Brighton. People like to call him a yes man. I like to call him a PE teacher. I don't think he's even a yes man. He's a PE teacher. He's that bad. He's garbage. You give him 600 million and he can't be Southampton. That is shocking. And he has no tactics. Steve, what tactics are we playing? What formation are we playing?
Yeah, you know what? Your tactics at the moment are up in the air. I watch your team. I've watched games with Latimer's Prime on Insta. Well, we've watched games, guys. I've watched Chelsea games because I wanted to see what the goal was. Because any threat to Arsenal is a threat I need to look at. Well, not anymore. I don't know what your tactics are. No idea. I look at your tactics and look at this. Look across the pond. It says Boehly ball kicked out a Russian lady, then Tuchel because he didn't want Botox Rooney. Boehly wants to sell jerseys. And to be honest, I think Boehly, look, he's the owner of the LA Dodgers, who, like the Yankees, just try to buy titles, only work for one season. These is bits and pieces. I mean, these are Arsenal fans that are coming in here. And look, my Arsenal cap is sitting right there. I've got Arsenal behind me. But a lot of people, apart from many Chelsea fans, are looking at Boehly like, is he just here for the dollars and cents, or is he here? Is he here to better the betterment of football? I look at the style of football that Graham Potter's playing right now, and it's Brighton had an identity, okay, and I think that's what we were getting to. Brighton had that identity. Chelsea Football Club right now are a team without an identity, a language, a country, a backbone. And I look at Graham Potter, and I look at his appointment. I look at his appointment at the time, and it screams of Mikel Arteta. Okay, obviously Mikel Arteta has done better at Arsenal somewhat, but it screams of I do not want someone who's going to argue with me. I don't want somebody who's going to tell me what I should be doing. I want someone that's going to be taking orders and doing what I'm telling him to do. Now, I think when I look at Graham Potter, was it a signing for the betterment of Chelsea Football Club's football and titles, or was it literally to have someone that he can play with and use as a shield when things go wrong? That's what I saw. Remember, this is an Arsenal fan who saw what happened to Wenger. Have you ever thought of this? Have you really thought about what they've done here?
I mean, I wouldn't say I don't think he's using it as a shield to blame on. I think because Bowie knows he's made a lot of mistakes. I think he uses him as someone who it's more of a weight. It's more of a, I don't know, it's more of a trust the process thing. It's like, oh, the guy's played here, he's developing, give him time. It's more like, give me time. It's like in Bowie's statement, give me time to figure out something else. And at that point, let's just wait. It's like, so for me, Bowie used this guy to kind of, as I said, use him as a puppet. He's a yes man, because we saw this with Ronaldo last year when Thomas
Yeah.
Tuchel didn't want Ronaldo. He goes, no, don't give me Ronaldo. Don't want him. He'll ruin my dressing room. He'll ruin my club. Don't want him. And Bowie's like, no, I want him. And Bowie, we know why Bowie want him. He went for the jerseys. We went for the money. And he would have got that. He would have got money. He would have got it. But Tuchel didn't want him. And he was challenged on it. And I think that was the first step where Bowie was like, no, I don't want this manager here. So he appoints Tuchel to be the director of transfers. The director of transfers, Thomas Tuchel, says, hey, I don't want Ronaldo. And then Bowie goes behind his back and sacks him. So that tells me he wants a yes man. He wants someone who he can be as a puppet. He wants someone who can go, hey, I need you to just, cut the orange slices for me. I'll deal with the transfer. Because Potter didn't know we signed Mudryk. Potter had no clue we signed Mudryk. Potter didn't know where we were going from. It was in an interview. One of the journalists said, hey, you signed Mudryk. How surprised are you? He goes, yeah, I didn't even know we were onto him, and out of nowhere we signed him. So it's like he said in his own words, this guy doesn't know what's going on in this club, and that's for me is horrible. We're Chelsea Football Club. We've won titles with managers like Conte and Mourinho. Conte and Mourinho, who picked the players, who picked who they wanted. They didn't like a player, they'd be gone. If Mourinho was here right now,
Exactly.
Mason Mount would be in Saudi Arabia. Start learning Arabic, Mason Mount. He'll be going to Saudi Arabia if
Kai
Jose
Havertz
Mourinho was
follows
there.
him.
Kai Havertz will go with him, his boyfriend. Like, it's just the standards have dropped. I said that 2 years ago when we won the Champions League. That's I think one of the worst thing that happened to a Chelsea fan is winning the Champions League. Win the Champions League was one of the worst things that happened in Chelsea's career because it's dropped our standards. These players are garbage. The people we won the Champions League with, they're garbage players. They're shocking. The only reason we won the Champions League was because of Thomas Tuchel. 99.9% of it was
Credit.
Thomas Tuchel. And all the credit goes to Thomas Tuchel because he's the one who came in under Lampard's squad, who Lampard was sitting at 10th place with, came with Lampard's squad and developed his own strategy, his own tactics, his own formation. I hate him for him. Like, why is this guy doing this? And it worked out. Boehly comes in to an average squad and makes it a garbage squad. So you got to have a world-class manager to make an average team a world-class team. You can't make an average team with a shit manager. And that's what Boehly tried to do. He tried to make it up by splashing the cash, but it didn't work. You can't just have a one-man team like Felix. You still have the same bums here. Why is Havertz still here? Why is Gallagher here? We turned down Graham Potter. Everton were going to pay 40 million for Conor Gallagher, and Graham Potter turned it down and said, "No, we need him for depth." What depth? He doesn't even make the reserves team anymore. He doesn't even make the reserves team. So it's all. I don't know. I think it's all about this having this English, team. They want to have an English manager, maybe an English players, because these English players are not leaving. Loftus-Cheek has been here for a decade. He's 27,
Oh,
and
fuck
he's
me.
still playing at this club. And I think he's still here because of the English badge.
Fuck.
You look at someone like Billy Gilmore, who's not quite there having the English badge. He has a Scottish badge. He was gone instantly. He's gone. He didn't even get a shot. Ampadu, doesn't have the quite English badge. He has the Wales badge. He's in Italy's second division or something right now. Doesn't get a shot. So these English boys have double standards, and I think they're trying to create an all English team. I think.
Like I'm looking at your squad right now, and we're talking about the players that came in: Sterling, Koulibaly, Cucurella, Fofana, Oba, okay, whatever. You guys chased Rafinha, and I thought to myself, the sign of when you guys were starting to chase Rafinha, right? You had players, you've got players, Conor Gallagher, you got all these players that are shit show shambles. But I saw some players coming in that weren't bad. The signing of Raheem Sterling for me I thought that was a good sign. I still think it's a good signing because I think he's your best winger. And when he's on the pitch, he is doing bits, but he hasn't got enough around him for him to contribute like he would have contributed at a Manchester City or a Liverpool back in the day. Fofana, not a bad signing. Cucurella, not a bad signing. You saw him at Brighton.
Mm.
Zachariah as well. 300 million. I mean, these signings, were these shot in the dark? Were these signings to instill faith? Let's spend 300 million and get the fans on my side. Let them see that I'm serious. And that's only to name a few. We know that there's more, but there's been more signings than that. But I'm just going to round up the players that are fucking relevant, the players that I think that are half decent: Zachariah, Fofana, Oba, if you want to, and the Rafinha deal. I looked at it and I thought to myself, is he trying to just win the fans over by throwing money at them and saying, "Look, I'm buying players," just like Roman did. Look, he spent money, I spent money. It looked like that to me. It didn't look like there was any sort of strategy. The Sterling thing I understood. The Cucurella maybe because of the issues that you got on the left. Koulibaly, yes, maybe a bit late. But when I was seeing, I saw, Zachariah, I saw Rafinha. I thought, Rafinha, really? You want to go for Rafinha? And it just didn't fit for me. And it looked like you guys were just splashing cash for the sake of splashing cash. I mean, was that early transfer window for you? Was that something that convinced you of a bit, that maybe under the Boehly fucking empire that you're going to see some success? Or did you see it for what it was, like this guy's fucking throwing money around like a kid in a candy store?
When we had Tuchel and he made those signings, I was like, okay. Even when Tuchel was here, it was kind of a bit of a mess. But even when Tuchel was here, I was like, okay, I can see something happening. And I think Bowie has the right intentions. He wants to win titles. He wants to win titles so he gets money, obviously, But everyone wants to win titles. So I know Bowie's intentions to win titles. But the way he did it was horrendous. Like, we look at those players he signed. the best players who have shined the most cost the least, right? But these
Yeah.
big money signings didn't work out. And then we go and we come back in August and we do the same thing again. We spend double the money in August. We come send the big name players like a Mudryk, you know. We come by Mudryk and Enzo. We spend double the money. So he's like, hey, I can do it again. And then he goes, I'm gonna do it again, and I'm gonna do it again. He's gonna do it again in next January and August. So he's saying, hey, I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm like, sure, spend
Yeah.
money. I don't care. I don't care. Spend your money, but spend it correctly. We've been, here's the thing, Steve. We didn't sign a CDM since 2018. We
Mm-hmm.
just signed our first one, Enzo Fernandez, for the first time since 2019 to this window. So it was picking and choosing who we needed. Mudryk is a player who I didn't think we needed, but I think is a good player. You got someone like Madueke, who I think is a good player. We go obviously I see Cucerrella in the early window. And the players we signed were okay, but they didn't end up kind of coming together because we still had missing holes. Like we didn't really desperately kind of need a winger, but at the same time we did. We didn't really desperately need a centre back, but we kind of did. So we have so many spots to fill that we just need a whole new squad. And I think that's what he's trying to do, get a whole new squad. And I would love to see this time next year, half this team not even here, because that's what we need. We need to overhaul so many of these players. So coming to that, the money, the price tag of them players. Cucurella for me is one I think was a great player. Why isn't he working out? That's a Potter
That's
player.
that's a
Why isn't he
question.
working out?
Yeah.
Look at
That's
someone
a great
Koulibaly.
question.
I mean, I think Koulibaly, that was an easy option. I think, no, United were on the hang of him for 6 years. I said this. I said before he joined. I said United didn't sign him for 4 years. Liverpool didn't sign him for 3 years. And now we're going to get sloppy thirds, and you think he's going to work out? I think he still has a chance to work out, but it makes sense why he's not working out. Sterling is a player, as you said, he has no personnel in front of him. Sterling's a great player. I think it was a great signing as well. I really like
Yeah.
that signing. But when you've got Kai Havertz up front, what's he gonna do? What's Sterling gonna do? And he showed it last game. Sterling has great dribbling. He's got that. He's scored the most goals in the Premier League in our team. He scored 30 goals and assists a couple of years ago. So he knows how to put the ball in the back of that. He knows how to create. But it comes down to personnel. Aubameyang is a big one I want to talk on because Aubameyang, he's a good player. He's a striker. I like Aubameyang. But the thing is, the manager doesn't start him, and when he does start him, where he plays him? He plays him on the right wing. He
Yeah.
plays a 36-year-old striker on the right wing, and he wonders why it doesn't work out. So I think we have the personnel now. I think we got the great players now, because this time last year I said we have a shit team. We have a shit team, but a good manager. This time around we have a shit manager and a good team. So now all we gotta do is add a world-class manager to this team, and I think we can thrive. I think we can still have a chance to win the Champions League if we get a good manager, because our squad is good. We still got a good squad. It's just the way Potter is playing it, the way he's acting with it. He's thinking this is Brighton, giving them 4 days off. They're giving them TikTok dances to do. That's
Yeah.
not Chelsea material. We get like a, I don't know, like a Hansi Flick or Luis Enrique. We will do better than what we have right now, and that's a fact.
I think your squad right now, of course, it does look like on paper, I look and say, wow, what a team. But my problem is any manager that's looking into Chelsea right now, right? So off the players, off the season, anyone that looks at Graham Potter, his situation right now, any manager, okay, let's use Mourinho as an example. Okay, I like Mourinho, not really, but let's use him as an example here. Do you think Mourinho is going to come in here and let Todd Boehly tell him which players he's going to use and which players he's going to buy and all that? You know what Mourinho's going to say? He's going to say
Stick it up
that.
your ass. Yeah.
He's going to say, "Stick it up. I am the special one. I have done more at Chelsea Football Club than you will ever do." Right? I'm just going to walk away. You need me. I don't need you. Now, any decent manager looks and says, "Wait a minute. This is a poison chalice. I've got an owner, a megalomaniac owner whose ego is the main thing that he's worried about. It's ego, his arrogance. That's what he's about. It's like me. I got to get everything right." And when I look at Graham Potter, right? I look at Graham Potter. You tell me. When he goes to like his press conferences after the games. Does he look like a man who's really worried? Now, I look at that, and look, my full time job is I run a team. If I tell a team member to do something and they say no, it's not the right thing, and then I tell them no, go ahead, no, you got to do this. They'll smile and say, "Yeah, okay, boss, no worries," because they know it's going to fuck up. Graham Potter looks like that team member's gone. Told you, boss. I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. That's what it looks like to me. Do you think another manager that a world class manager is attracted to Chelsea Football Club when the manager that's there right now is no worries, boss. I told you so. I told you so. Which manager is going to come to your club like this?
I mean, are you saying the stance that Graham Potter's kind of telling Bowie, "I told you so"? Is that kind of the stance you think?
Yeah, yeah, and it's the
I
same
don't see
thing
it like
that
that.
Arteta. You really?
Because I see Potter. I said this a couple weeks ago, and I said Potter. I think one of the most protected managers in the world, and I don't think it's kind of that dictated where Bowie has every say. Bowie doesn't pick the lineup. Potter picks the lineup. Potter's the player who picks the tactics. Potter picks the formation. Potter picks the how we play on the field. Off the field, that's all Bowie. And I think Potter still, he has his own free will to dictate how he can win a game. He just doesn't have the skills for it. And I think that's coming and blaming too much on Bowie. What Bowie needs to do is just stay out of fucking football, sit at home in your private jet, and when the manager rings up, "Hey boss, I need 400 million," give him 400 million. Don't even say why. Just give him the money. Don't get involved because he's at the training grounds every Tuesday. He's there having dinner with the players, cutting the orange slices, eating the bananas. Don't get involved. I don't like. That's why I like Roman. Roman, just give him the money. If the manager's not doing well, you have a meeting and stuff like that. But don't come and dictate what the manager needs to do. Don't come and buy the players that you want. We just bought someone named Christian Verval. He's a technical director. He's the man that we're kind of. I think he has more authority than Potter now because now he's
Oh,
kind of picking. He's kind of picking the manager. He's picking the players, and I will trust him more than I trust Potter because he just went from IB Leipzig. I think he's from there. Don't mistake if I'm wrong, but he just came from there as their technical director, and they're scaling the problem. That's why we're brought in Cuckoo and stuff like that. So I want to give more trust into people who have knowledge. He's the most knowledgeable person, Christopher Vaval. He's the one who signed Modric. He's the one who signed Enzo. He's the one who signed Bader Shield. So he's the one where these young players are working out, and I will give him more props. So coming to that thing on Potter, Potter has the free will to do whatever he wants when it's on the pitch, and he's still not showing it. So I would definitely blame Potter on that.
of course. I mean, the tactics on the pitch are in the bin. Let's be honest. It's the same one-dimensional football, and I look at your midfield now, and I think, I looked at your midfield back then. Look at your midfield now, and players like N'Golo Kante were so important now, aging, done and dusted. The midfield was looking a bit bare. I look at your players at the moment. I mean, look at this window. Winter window comes in. Seriously. You guys hijack Mudryk. You got Raheem Sterling, who plays on the left, right? Now, this is the thing that got to me. And if I'm Graham Potter, I'm sitting there just going, you know what? Fuck this. Fuck this. You got Raheem Sterling playing on the left, a proven Premier League player. Okay. We go after Mudryk. Why? Why? It's not about, he's going to Arsenal. Fuck us. Fuck Arsenal. Don't worry about Arsenal. Forget us. We don't need Mudryk. We don't need him. Obviously, you can see that. But you guys go for Mudryk at £88 million straight off the bat. That wasn't a player you needed. A Declan Rice would have been a player you needed for that sort of money. That you need a midfielder. You got Enzo with Declan beside him. Enzo sits back. Declan's not too bad going forward.
I wouldn't take Declan Rice. Absolutely not.
Well, okay,
Absolutely
you won't
not.
take Declan Rice, but would you
But
admit that you would take another midfielder instead of Mudryk?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
All that you would take it. You'd take, I don't know, fucking. You could even take a James. You could take Casado. You could take Casado. You could take a James fucking Madison and put him in as a number 10, and he'd be decent, and he would, good on a free kick, his creativity, and then you've got your Yao Felix, who's not really a striker, but whatever. But you went and got Mudryk. Now, as a manager, he's going to look at this and say, "This is not what I need." You went after Yao Felix, who hasn't been a bad signing, but he's not an out-and-out striker. And I've been telling that to Chelsea fans for fucking the get-go, and I was been telling that to Arsenal fans. He's not an out-and-out striker. He's a fucking false 9 at best a 10. 600 million this window, bro. 600 million. What the fuck? And you're sitting in 10th? Do these look like Potter players?
But Steve, here's the thing. Mudryk is here. He starts Ziyech over these players. And it comes down to the personnel.
Ziyech is playing on the right. Mudryk plays on the left.
But even that, you can still put I would rather have a Sterling on the right. I'm sorry, I'd rather have Sterling on the right than have a Mudryk. I have a Ziyech. We have I don't know how to pronounce his name. Madueke. We still have a Madueke there. We just spent 40 million on Madueke, and we signed Ziyech, a guy who, and this will bring up why I bring up Ziyech. I like Ziyech. The reason I bring up Ziyech because Ziyech was 3 minutes away from joining Paris Saint-Germain. 3 minutes away from joining Paris
he was
Saint-Germain.
happy to. He look at him now. He looks at it every time I see him there. He's like, I want out of this shit.
I don't
Help
blame
me,
him.
please.
Get him out. He deserves to leave. But then he comes in. He starts the week after. That's not Boehly's decision to start him. That's Potter's. And you see, and you say, you want Potter. These aren't Potter players. Maybe they are. Maybe they aren't. If they're not Potter players, they're Christopher Vivell players. And Christopher Vivell player, I would trust way more than, what's his name? Fucking Todd Boehly or Graham Potter. But the thing is, Thomas Tuchel didn't get any players for 2 years. And he won a Champions League and got his top 4 twice. With a garbage squad. Garbage squad. Right? So Potter, this is a upcoming world-class team. The price tag shown, the personnel shown. We have an upcoming world-class team. To not even beat Southampton, that's where I'm pissed. We couldn't beat. We didn't just lose to them. We got destroyed. We've had 77 shots with 0 goals. And to me, I don't blame Kai Havertz because I know he's garbage. I know he's shit. Why is Aubameyang not starting? You scored 77 shots with 0 goals, and you wonder why we're not scoring. Because our striker is gone. He got rid of our strikers. Dash Fofana, he's on the bench, and our experienced striker, Aubameyang, is out of the team. So for me, it comes down to what Potter's picking on lineup day. It's not correct. It's not right. It's not a good squad. I come down again. I'm going to come back to the midfield. The midfield. We're in 2023. And Loftus-Cheek is still on this pitch. And we wonder why we're at 10th. And that's what I'm telling you, Steven. You can't blame these players like someone like Zachariah or Mudryk or blame Potter because they're not his players. I blame Potter because he's got shit tactics. And then when we lose the game, he comes to the dressing room, he comes to the press conference, and he doesn't back his players. He says, we had a great game. Oh, the boys gave it all. That's life. They get it. Blah, blah, blah. So there's no passion. I don't see anything. I don't know if you remember, Southampton game. 2 minutes to the final whistle. We had a free kick. Azpilicueta, one of the worst captains in Chelsea history, right? Is on the bench fighting.
Yeah.
He's on the bench fighting. We have 2 minutes left. He's on the bench fighting. And what's our manager doing? He's 20 meters away. Oh my camera's about to fall, but he's 20 meters away. And he's sitting there with his hands like this, 20 minutes away, just standing there. There's 2 minutes left.
Wenger vibes.
And if that was Thomas Tuchel, who when we had 2 minutes left was going there screaming at Conte. And that's why I'd love to see. I don't know, people call it passion merchants, blah, blah, blah. I'd love to see when you just show me something. Show me that you want to set this club. Show me you love this club. Show me some passion. Tuchel just come out every single week and say, I love this club. I'll do anything for this club. Give me 11 players in a bus and I'll still shop and I'll still win. But I had 600 million, a private jet, fucking 8 million pounds in his fucking bank account from just this year alone, and he still can't beat Southampton. He's getting paid 12 million pounds this year. A year.
No way.
And if he gets sacked, it's 12 million. And if he gets sacked, he gets 60 million pounds. And we're wondering why he might. I think he wants to get sacked on purpose. He gets 60 million pounds if he gets sacked.
Oh my God. And who put him on that deal?
Todd Boehly. I can't believe it, man.
I'm taking you guys back to this point because my owners are shit. And they'll always be shit. Always. And your owners right now are in line. Look, and BX Gunner comes in with something. Goes, what about Joachim Low? Would Joachim Low even think about Chelsea Football Club?
Who?
I mean, Joachim Low. Who?
I have no idea.
German manager? Ex-German manager?
Oh, of course. The one, yeah, Joachim Low. Yeah, of course. I'm like, hey, who's this guy?
Well, wait a minute.
No, I don't want to stick your hands in my club, man. I don't want to stick your hands in my club.
Guys in the chat, this is a Chelsea fan. So if he's not worth 400 million, who?
You spelled his name wrong. I'm like, who that was Joachim? It's a Joachim. But no, I don't want his stinky hands, man. I don't want his stinky hands. Always pick his nose, touch his.
Maybe that'll work. You could run up and down the side of the pitch and get your fucking and just keep running after him, getting him to move, mate. Because you've got a problem with your right hand side's a bit dead at the moment. You got Reece James playing at right back, and he's looking a shadow of his former self. And I'm looking at these players, and I'm thinking, what happened to Reece James? Reece James was gone, bro. Reece James was the man. Reece James, he disappeared from Chelsea. Chelsea went to shit. And now I see Reece James, man. I swear, bro. I look at Reece James and I'm like, guys, he's going to be fucking like he's looking dejected, like Ziyech on their right hand side. They both look, and I'm the morale is like in the bin. And I remember, like, I think Abramovich. The one thing about Abramovich, right, was that he was a kind of owner that lifted the team, even if he was behind the scenes. Do you know what I mean? He knows this is what I expect. This is what I want. I don't get what I want. You're gone. I get what I want. Your life is rosy. But with Boehly, it's like these guys are just like, we're not feeling you, mate. We're not into you. We just don't want nothing to do with you. And Graham Potter, don't get me wrong. He's a manager, a novice, just like Mikel Arteta, who hasn't got the stature to command this team. And I think that's another point where some of these players are bigger than the manager. You know what I mean? Aubameyang tried that with Arteta, and we showed him the fucking door. And I'm looking at some of your players right now, and I'm wondering, could that be an issue? Could it be, wait a minute, who are you? You know who I am? Who the hell are you to tell me how to play football? Because it looks a bit like Mourinho comes in, it's a different story. You know what I mean?
And that's why I said there are definitely there's been a big player problem in this team. And the thing is, Chelsea fans don't understand. They're so up themselves that they don't understand. We've had a player problem for 3 years, right? And the player problem is still happening. The player problem is still happening because of the same players who are causing the problems are still here. Kai Havertz, Mason Mount, Hakim Ziyech, Christian Pulisic, Azpilicueta. The 5 players who I think are causing problems at this club. These is what we need a world-class manager to come in and dictate, hey, this is my fucking club. Get out. You know? And that's why I give big props to Mikel Arteta for doing that to Aubameyang. He said, hey, and did that. Aubameyang, Pepe was shit. He kind of got rid of, all these players. He said, hey, you're not bigger than the club. I don't want you. You're not going to respect me. Get out. I am dreaming for a manager like that because as soon as a manager like that comes in and he dictates what he wants, Mount's gone. Havertz is gone. Loftus-Cheek's gone. Gallagher's gone. All these bums we stick up this pitch and just loved by the fans will be gone. So this is what we need to revive our club. And I said this even before Potter got hired. I said, okay, you sacked Tuchel. Go get me an authoritarianism manager, someone like a Jose. Give me Jose for 6-7 months just to rebuild this team. I'll take Jose as an interim. Someone just and people say these managers won't join. Yes, they will join. Zidane will join. If Zidane is offered, he'll join if the right money is gone. Bowie will overpay. Bowie overpay for Potter. Bowie can overpay for Zidane. I don't give a fuck. Go overpay for Zidane. Go overpay for Enrique. I don't care who it is. Just don't put them on a. I'll take Zidane. Just don't put them on a big contract. And they will take a small contract with big money. I'm telling you right now. They will take maybe 16, 15 million a year. Give them big money. I don't give a fuck.
He's already on big money.
He's already on big money.
Graham Potter's on big money. I mean, since you're throwing it around, you might as well throw it around to a Potter with a manager with some sort of credentials. Is that what you're saying?
Playing past the parcel, pass it to the one who at least has the credentials. You give it to a Brighton manager. It's embarrassing. And for me, I want to get over what Potter. I say Potter for me, one of the worst the worst manager in Chelsea history. Comes in with a 28.5% win rate, right? With a 600 million new squad. And he has a 28.56% win. We're sitting at 10th place. Has no drive, no authority, no discipline. He has no control at his own team. That shows a beta level male. We're sitting at 10th place. I need a world-class alpha male to come in and bring this club back to its tops. And once we get that, once we get these players out, once we get these fan favorites who are shocking out, that's when our club will return. I said to a gal nearly about a year ago, I said to a gal, the day we sell Mason Mount is the day our club will return. And I still stand by that. Once we get rid of these English favorites, our club will return.
That's another thing I want to talk about, eh? These players, guys, and I'm trying to keep up with the comments. And guys, big up everyone in the chat. I swear, big up everyone that's throwing the comments out there. Seriously, I'm trying to get through as many as I can because some of these, like Football Capital's coming up, Matt, my under 12s just beaten under 14 teams 4-2. So if you need a manager,
he'll do better. At least he'll do better with 600 million than Graham Potter will.
Once you get 600 million, he disappears. He'll be that one manager where you come into the press conferences. Where's the manager? He's gone with the 600 million. Fucking Massos, mate. They do the runner. But I look at these players, Mason Mount. I look at Havertz. I look at Ziyech. Look, Ziyech for me is not a spent player. I think he spent at Chelsea Football Club. This is the player I wanted at Arsenal. I watched him at Ajax. He was a great player. For Morocco, he's decent. When he comes to fucking Chelsea, it's just wrong. Mason Mount, tell me what is, and I'm going to start with Mason Mount first because Kai Havertz, I could fucking, mate. Like Kai Havertz, mate, he's a dream for an opposing team. Start him. Please start him. Mason Mount. What is the addiction to Mason Mount? Why are we stuck on Mason Mount? Because I watch him and I'm still trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be seeing.
Hmm.
Explain it to me as a Chelsea fan. Explain it to me like I'm a child. Why is Mason Mount at your club? Because I can't figure it out.
Here's the thing. I love talking about this because it's so basic, it's so straightforward, but the Chelsea fans are so delusional. That Minu's fucking FC twat is so delusional that they're just stuck up on themselves. I've said Chelsea fans are one of the worst fan base in history. They're shocking, right? And this new age Chelsea fans, these Yo Dars, these old guys who go to the bridge, they're the worst because Mason Mount, right? He came in 2019. We
Yeah.
just lost one of our best players in history, Eden Hazard. We lost our superstar,
Yes.
our star hero, our Superman, Eden Hazard. We lost him. So Chelsea fans are, hey, we need a new superstar. We need a new hero to save Stamford Bridge. We need a new Superman to save our club. So Frank Lampard comes in again, the second worst manager in Chelsea history, right? Legend of a player, but a shocking manager, right? He comes in. He loves Mason Mount. Him and Mason Mount become best friends. Mason Mount starting week in, week out. He's starting on the wing. Frank Lampard's propping him, hyping him up, saying he's going to become this player. And, you see Gary Neville and all these, other pundits coming out saying Mason Mount's going to be top class level because he's friends with Frank Lampard. So the fans look at this and go, hey, our club legend, Frank Lampard, loves this little young boy, Mason Mount.
Yeah.
We're going to love him too. So he comes in 2019 to 2020, has an average season, didn't do the worst, average season for his age, was okay. And then he got sold a dream. He was average, play week in, week out, has shocking games, has had some couple of games, and then Lampard got sacked. He got sacked. Thomas Tuchel came in. Right? Thomas Tuchel came in, he brought in Mount. Mount dropped in form. Mount was not consistent. He was starting week in, week out still because he was a fan favorite and he was shocking. Then the fans come out and give him what was like a banner, a tifo. They come and give him a banner. I don't know if you guys know, but a banner at Chelsea Football Club needs to be deserved. It is very, very unlikely to get a banner at Chelsea Football Club, and they gave it to Mason Mount, one of the worst English players at this club. People like Kante never got his individual one. I can go through the list of players who never got one before, but Mason Mount got one, guys. This is a disgrace. It's a disgrace that he got one, and that just kind of inflamed the Mason Mount train. It inflamed it.
Ego.
Exactly. It dropped it. He goes, hey, Mason Mount's here to stay. And that's why they loved him more. And then he started to play shit. He was shit under Tuchel. And they started to make the excuses. He's an 8. He's a central player. He doesn't play on the wing. And then they'll get angry when he didn't start. They get angry when he doesn't start. And they yell, they boo the manager. And the owner's like, hey, you got to start Mason Mount. And manager's like, I don't want him. He goes, don't care. You got to start him. So he's being forced to play. He started week in, week out under Tuchel. He's shocking week in, week out. He does one thing.
Yes,
he assists
that's what it is.
Kai Havertz in the Champions League final, and he's back. Kai Havertz scores a goal, Mason Mount assists it. And Mason Mount suddenly back. He's generational. He's world class. He gets set. He's a short way from Starbucks. That's what they say, right? So he's now this new generational talent player that everyone loves again. So now we come to Potter. He is garbage under Potter. Even his own fans are deflecting it. Fucking, what's his name? Rory Jennings, man. This guy's given up on him. He's given up on players like Potter and Mount. He's done. He's done with it. They give the excuse and they keep backing him. But he's not going to perform. He's never going to perform. He's one of the worst Chelsea players in history. He's a shocking player, shocking mentality. When players are improving, he's there fucking doing PR dances, fucking TikTok dances, dances to Ice Spice, fucking twerking little merchant. He's a fucking twat. He's one of the worst players. I hope he leaves because the day he leaves is our club will return, our standards will return. We used to have players like Juan Mata, Oscar, who never got banners, who used to score 12, 13 goals a season, who used to assist 12, 13 times. Right? We have Fabregas, we had all these better midfielders, and now we're relying on players like Mason Mount, who's a bang average player. William is a better player than Mason Mount. And here's another thing, Steve. I'll finalize with this. Mason Mount won the Player of the Year 3 times or 2 times in a row. The way he won that is because they're voted by the fans. So they use that again. The fans voted for Mason Mount as their ego, and they add to it. They go, he's a 2-time Player of the Season award. So I'll finalize with this. Mason Mount is a garbage player. He's made this fan base go delusional. He's made double standards in this football club. When he doesn't start, the players get upset, the fans get upset, and it forces the manager to start. and the day he leaves, our club will return. Simple.
And you know what? I've seen, and I couldn't agree with you more. And it's not because I'm an Arsenal fan. I watch Mason Mount too. I'm still trying to figure out what everyone's up for. Like Chelsea Dan, he's in the comments. You can see it. This guy's waffling on, blah, blah, blah. But Chelsea Dan, look, my Arsenal hat's off. And I'm not just picking on Mason Mount. I'm not. I'm just saying, calling it straight, a spade. This guy is not as good as you think. He's taking, look, when you guys playing with Mason Mount, you're playing with 10 men or 10 and a half because he might show up. He may. It's a possibility. It's a chance. And at the moment, he's a kind of player you can't afford to have on the pitch. You need every one of your players performing. You're sitting in 10th and you got Mason Mount starting. I mean, Kai Havertz, for me, another player that I think everyone says, well, he's out of position. Matt, can you tell me where Kai Havertz is supposed to play? Is he supposed to be between the sticks? Because I still don't know where he's supposed to play. Is he a 9? Is he a false 9? Is he a 10? What the fuck is Kai Havertz? Because I've had a lot of Chelsea fans tell me this. Oh, he's out of position. Well, what's his position? Parking cars? What is it? I don't know what the fuck it is. So where do you put him? Oh, he's not a winger. Okay. Oh, he's a midfielder. No, he's not. Can you tell me what Kai Havertz is?
Well,
apart from a footballer.
You don't know. Yeah, because mate, he's lucky to get a footballer status, right? So here's the thing: Kai Havertz is a 10. Mason Mount is an 8. But however, they're not good enough to be played around them. Mason Mount's an 8. This is what the fans say. You got bums like Chelsea Dan, who's one of the most delusional fans on this fucking app because he follows Johnny Minerals. If you follow Johnny Minerals, you have no say because he's one of the most deluded fans in this Chelsea fan base. And you got fools like Dan here. That's no argument. No, it's all sentimental. It's all testimony. Oh, tribal is a shit. Mason Mount's an 8. Kai Havertz is a 10. That's what people like Dan and people like the Chelsea fans proclaim. But if they're that position, why isn't the manager playing around them? They're not good enough to be played around. Thomas Tuchel came in. He played Mason Mount as a kind of a right mid, right forward kind of guy, right? He never played him as an 8 because he was never good enough. He never changed the tactics to suit Mason Mount because he was never good enough. You guys are so up yourself. You're so delusional that you don't see it. Have you ever played football where I'm a CDM? If I'm not playing as a CDM and I play as a winger, that means I'm not good enough as a CDM. And the manager's not willing to put me in the CDM because I'm not good enough. The manager is not willing to change tactics around me. I'm not good enough. He changed the tactics around players like Jorginho, Reece James, and Ben Chilwell, and that's how we won in the Champions League. So he didn't change it around Mason Mount and Kai Havertz because they're not good enough. They're garbage, bang, average players. And the day he leaves, I can't fucking wait. 24-hour stream when Mason Mount leaves. I can't wait.
Mate, we'll do it here if you want. Because we're
going to do it everywhere. I'm going worldwide. I'm going everywhere. I can't wait.
I'm going everywhere, bro. Fuck this shit. Because
I'm flying to London.
Honestly, Mason Mount, Kai Havertz, Conor Gallagher, my opinion, surplus to requirements. All these players should have been. I mean, Conor Gallagher, you could have made some money on. I think the reason why Potter didn't let him go is because your midfield, this is fucking horrible to say, but your midfield is shit without Conor Gallagher, and that's saying something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I look at Conor Gallagher, and this is fucking horrible, but I think he's a better midfielder than Mount. I honestly think he's a better midfielder than Mount. I think, to be honest,
it's shit versus garbage. I wouldn't really,
the only reason is because
shit versus poo.
Well, maybe we are, but Conor Gallagher, Kai Havertz, hate to say it, Hakim Ziyech, who has to go for his own well-being. Mental health is a big thing in the world. So Hakim Ziyech for his own mental health because he's too good for this club. And Mason Mount, would you agree that these players, surplus to requirements between fun, thanks for all the laughs, but you got to go?
Oh, yeah, of course I got to go. I like Ziyech. I love Ziyech. I got his number. I love this guy. I wish he didn't work out. He didn't work out. The Prem was too hard for him. I think it was a bit too weak. And he didn't work out. I think he's a good player. I think even still now, like when I see him on that pitch, deep down, I'm like, yes, he's starting. I know he can bring me something. But at the same time, like, why is he starting? He doesn't want to be here. I don't want to play players who don't want to be here. So he needs to go. Pulisic is another one. He needs to go. Yeah. Like, that's one we don't even discuss because he's too injured. So these players need to go. It's stop being sentimental. I'm a big fan of Kepa. I called Kepa's comeback. I said back in 2021, I said Kepa will revive as a number one keeper. He's our number one keeper. But if he doesn't step up, he needs to leave. Right? This is a top class team. We need top class players. Right? So coming to our midfield is garbage. We only got one midfielder, Enzo Fernandez. Right? Yeah. And now Zachariah is coming back fit. Kante is fit. Kante needs to fucking walk out that door. He needs to walk out the door. If he comes against the league, whenever he starts, Steve, I'm telling you right now, if he comes and he gets injured in that game, I would tear up his contract and get him out. I'll sign for free. I don't care. Tear up his contract because he's just too injury prone. Zachariah's back. I'm happy Zachariah's back. That might give us a kind of step forward now with Zachariah coming back because now because see with Enzo, right? Enzo's a player that needs someone who's a sitter. Enzo can kind and press up and push, but we need a sitter. We need someone who can sit back and defend. And that's you know who that was, Steve-O? Jorginho. And we sold him. We're still making mistakes. I'm a massive fan of Jorginho. I said, yeah, he needs to go. He's not at that level. But now I'm seeing it. We need a sitting DM. Why did we sell our only position that we needed to someone in? We sold out the only player we needed someone in the position. It's an embarrassing. It's an embarrassment, honestly.
Conor Gallagher, how much was it to Everton? Was it 40?
Yep.
40. Oh, you guys could have recouped. You guys could have definitely recouped a couple of. You guys could have recouped a fair bit of money there.
I was heartbeat take
any day.
I'll take 40 million.
Any day.
I'll take 40 million for Mount. I'll take 40 million for Mount as well.
Yeah.
Kepa's actually been one of our best players this season, actually, and he's statistically one of the best goalkeepers in the league. And we got again, you got fans like this who put other players under the bus who are playing well just to back their own players. And that's the thing, Steve. Fans like this, these players who go, and the majority of them are the ones who go to the matches. The most delusional, these old guys who go to the matches, and these people who put their own players who are doing well just to back them out. Like you got that Johnny Minnels fella who this guy does Chelsea down backs. Right, who would put their own players under the bus who are doing well just to back garbage. And that's what I hate.
You got to be a Chelsea fan. Remember, it's about Chelsea Football Club, not about the player. I'm a big fan of Ian Wright. I could make the whole background go to Ian Wright. You could pick a year, I could throw an Ian Wright kid on there, right? But when Ian Wright finished up with Arsenal, I didn't move with Ian Wright. You know what I mean? I loved Ian Wright when it was, I'm sorry, you have to go. It broke me. It hurt me. But I'm still an Arsenal fan. And I think what needs to happen is you can have your favorite players, but the love of your life needs to be Chelsea Football Club and or respectively Arsenal, because that's what it all comes down to. They need to benefit your club. If they're not benefiting your club, I'm sorry, it's out the door. Chelsea fans know this. We don't have to tell them this. As soon as someone isn't performing under Abramovich, what happened? Buy. Managers buy. Fuck this. It's not personal. It's business. Buy. It's for the betterment of Chelsea Football Club. So why is it that a Chelsea fan right now would sit here and look at Kai Havertz and say he's great? I'm an Arsenal fan. I look at fucking Mason Mount and I piss myself laughing. Anyone that says that Mason Mount could go into any English team now and start is fucking delusional. He's not that kind of player.
He barely makes West Ham. He barely makes West Ham.
He wouldn't make West Ham. No way. He wouldn't. West Ham are a physical team. What's he going to fucking do? Come on, what's he going to do? He's going to go shoulder to shoulder and end up in the fucking front row. Yeah, I've got them confused, guys. I've got them confused. Come on.
Distracting them.
Seriously.
So embarrassing.
And I think, look, Kepa, I think, between the sticks has actually looked good for you guys. Don't get me wrong. He has been here, there, and everywhere in previous seasons. But this season, he has looked half decent. I honestly look at Chelsea Football Club now, and Matt, you guys have spent 600 million. To be honest. Fran is saying thank you for Jorginho. We appreciate it. Cheers, Matt.
He's gonna win. He's gonna win a title, and we're sitting at 10th place. That's the difference. He's gonna win a title probably.
Matt, how long have you been a fan of Chelsea? Can I ask you that? How long have you been at Chelsea?
It's like 10 years. 2013.
2013. Now, some of the old heads that are in here, this one here, we remember your team back in the day, and Jez is in here, so he'll remember it. 10th position was pretty good for you guys. This is where you guys used to be. There used to be signs that used to be sitting out there. Save the bridge, save the bridge. It's looking like it's saved the bridge settings now with 600 million spent, right? A little over. You guys don't make Champions League. You guys don't even make Conference League. So hopefully you don't want Conference League, bro. You don't want that. You can't hear. Fuck that. You're playing Marconi. You know what I mean, bro? Fuck that. With over 600 million spent, and you talking about we need more players in. How many players and how much money? Because how much are you going to be able to spend? Remember, financial fair play is a bitch. You guys have actually spent the equivalent to what Mikel Arteta has spent in maybe 2 or 3 seasons. But you've done it.
I think his whole time. I think it's been his whole time. If I'm not mistaken. I think I saw that stat. I think it's been 3 years. Mikel Arteta, and we spent it in 1 year.
Yeah, and it would be around. It's about half. They all say it's about £500 million. I don't want to say it's about on par with 600. But for his whole of his tenure, this is what he spent, rebuilt this team now. somewhat. You guys have spent that in one season. How much more money can Chelsea Football Club spend? And how many players do we need here? Because I'm thinking you guys are going to need, I think you guys need a centre back, in my opinion. I'm just going to throw it out. I think you need a centre back. I think you need 2 midfielders. You need an 8, you need a 10. All right. So that's a given there. Now, if you go for a Maddison, that's 80 mil, right? A centre back, Milan Skriniar, my guy just went to Paris Saint-Germain. So dreaming for him now, that's never going to happen. But you're going to need a decent centre back. You also, in my opinion, are going to need a right winger, a real right winger. So if we're going to go down this path, and a striker, because João Felix is obviously not going to be the guy you guys are going to sign as a striker. You want a striker. Lukaku's coming back, whatever it may be, but I'm pretty sure that's not going to be the guy. You guys need what? We just counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players in the starting 11.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, coming August, right, I would get rid of more players and sign. Like, I will get rid of 8, 7, 8, 9 players. And here's the thing. You don't need to spend big money to have the personnel. Like, we just signed Battershill. He's 25 million. He's been our best player this season, right? Like, we go spend 80 million on Fofana. Don't forget, we just spent 80 million on Fofana, the centre back, right? He's a great player. Don't get me wrong, but he's injury prone. You know, so for me, we need probably a centre back. We need a backup right back, which we got. Our backup right back is now injured for 3 months, Malo Gusto. So we probably need another keeper to get rid of Mendy and compete with Kepa. You know, we need to get rid of Mendy and compete with Kepa. We need someone like that. We definitely need a midfielder, right? We definitely need a striker. Well, I can't even send this. We probably even need another right wing.
You need a right wing. I was saying you need a right winger.
Midfielder. Yeah. Like we need that. So we need a lot of players. And again, I was like, you don't need to spend big money to get the right personnel. You just need to have the good scouting system. Like I wouldn't spend big money on our next centre back. On the next centre back, go give me someone small from like, I don't know, like Nice or I don't know, like Brazil, who's like 15, 20 mil. Just give me something and we can develop him because we right now we have 4 centre backs, 5. Chalobah, we got Battershill, we got Fofana, Koulibaly, Thiago Silva. So, and we got Colwell, who's at Brighton, who's on loan. So we have about 6 right now. So if you really need a centre back to replace Thiago Silva, become top level, go get me someone small. So start with someone small. Go get me like these small players. You know, like we signed someone named Chukwuemeka from actually your player. What's his name? Henderson, not Henderson. What's his name? We signed one of your old players. I don't remember his name. Fuck. That young fella.
Oh, oh shit, yes. He was out of the academy.
Yeah,
guys,
Henderson.
Guys, let us know. Oh, what was his name?
What's his name?
I've forgotten because he's no longer an Arsenal player. So fuck you. Off you go to that shit. Yeah, enjoy, huh? You enjoying that? I hope you are. Look where we are. You know what I mean, bro? Oh, what was his name? Hutchinson.
I'm trying to find it. I mean,
wasn't it? No, not Hutchinson. No. Sorry.
Hutchinson. Yeah, Hutchinson. Is it Hutchinson?
It was Hutchinson. I think it was.
Hutchinson. Yeah, we just sound like one like that. Hutchinson. Yeah. So we signed someone like Hutchinson. We signed someone like Chukwuemeka. These 2 young guys. Yeah, we signed Chukwuemeka from Aston Villa and Hutchinson from you guys. Amari Hutchinson. We signed from you guys. So we got these like young 19, 20-year-old guys. And there for me, it will be someone who I will sign who is ideal because they're young prospects and they're cheap, right? Go get me because as I said, the less money we spend are the better players are coming out of it. Chukwuemeka is 25 million. He starts over Mount for me, you know. Like so, we just got to go buy these cheaper players, and I think we need to. Again, like these names for goalkeepers, I wouldn't kind of get. I'll go get maybe someone who has the experience for a goalkeeper, maybe like a Jose Sa, like a shot stopper. That's someone who we need like a proper shot stopper. Or you know, I wouldn't go to Brighton and spend maybe a Sanchez, but you know. That's just name a few. But yeah, I think there's a lot of money that needs to be spent. But I said Steve, in August, we need to get rid of players. And this is missing my list we need to get rid of. Edouard Mendy, stuff on the back. Edouard Mendy. Aspilicueta needs to go.
He's done, bro. He's done.
Aspilicueta needs to go. Loftus-Cheek needs to go. Gallagher needs to go.
Fuck me.
Probably, I would say Kante needs to go if he keeps getting injured. Kante needs to go. Right, over time, Kante would end up going. Ziyech needs to go. Havertz needs to go. Pulisic needs to go. Like, these are players like ASAP. Like they didn't get rid of like in August. Get rid of them. We still got players. Who else?
Facts on this comment. Are Chelsea planning a rebuild? They're just going to continue forcing managers to make an unknown bunch gel.
Well, here's the thing. We are trying to make a rebuild, but you're trying to get the right manager. And I'm all for a rebuild. I'm all for it, but you got to make sure you get the right manager to be in that rebuild. You don't want to, and we made the mistake of having Potter to be our rebuilder manager, right? But why do we? As I said, why do we sack managers? Blah, blah. We're used to that kind of stance now that we're forcing in and out managers, right? But I want to find that right personnel manager to be our next Alex Ferguson. Because I bet you ask every Chelsea fan, you ask any footballing fan, they would want a Sir Alex Ferguson. That's what every Chelsea fan uses. They use it that we want a Sir Alex Ferguson. We want a Pep. We want someone who's be here for 7-8 years. We want someone like that. We want them to be connected with a manager like that, right? But we don't know who it can be. Who is it? Can someone name me in the chat? If you guys really think there's a
In the chat.
manager who can be a long term, who is it? Who do you think? Because
Oh,
there's the poll. There's the poll, and the poll is there's 26 votes. 65% said Todd Boehly, 31% said Potter, 4% said Chelsea fans.
So everyone is pretty much screaming that this owner is pretty much the thorn in the side of Chelsea right now. And I think it's because they're going to blame the owner for the appointment of Potter. And look, Chelsea Dan, you're in the comments. Guys, I'm going to go through your comments real quick. Chelsea Dan, you're in there, right? I know you're in there. The Spade A Spade show, it's always one-on-one. I'm not going to put 3 or 4 people in here and start turning into.
I always seem chatting shit. If Justin, you want to chat shit, send me a link to your channel. I'll come on and I'll finish you on there. Because the people you own on your channel are these your Dars, these Mason Mount fanboys. If you want to have a debate, send me your link to your channel. I'll end your career there, like I did to everyone else.
There you go. The invites there, Chelsea Dan. Matt will be more than happy to jump onto your channel and start the debate. The reason why the Spade A Spade, it isn't here for, like, you'll notice it's serious talk. I'm not sitting here and putting fucking Chelsea fans down. Oh, look where you are. Look where we are. Blah, blah, blah. I don't do that. I'm literally looking at Chelsea for what they are at the moment. I'd take my Arsenal hat off and try to be a neutral. So look, Chelsea Dan, send Matt a link. He'll jump onto your channel and you guys can go fucking toe to toe, bro. You know what I mean? This was a good shout from BX Gunner. Across the pond came in and said, surely financial fair play will be offside when they don't make Europe. Now that is a worry because the amount of players that you just named about 7 players that need to go. You need about 5 players in your 11, 5 to 4 players in your 11. And when we're looking at the kind of players that you're going to be looking for, it's not going to be bare bones discounts. You get what I'm saying? They're going to be sitting anywhere between 40 to 50 million a player, give or take. And that's going to take you guys well and truly over, in my opinion. And I think Cross the Pond's got. I mean, you guys don't make Champions League. How the hell are you going to fucking 20-year contracts? I don't think you can even do that anymore. Serious. I think you guys are.
No, you can't. And I think we are not. We're not. I don't think we make even Conference League. And you're right. That's when I say financial fair play will come involved. And as I said, this season's done. So for me, as I said, we just need a clear out, get a clear out going, and then we can, as I said, make some lower class signs like 40, 50 million, or bring in youth for the next season, and then maybe next January we can reevaluate out getting more players in. But I want to focus on getting rid of players out in August. I don't want to just splash money. And that's what people think. Charles fans are, but we're greedy with this and that. We don't want to just spend money on just random people. We want to get the right personnel. And if it's not the right personnel, don't spend it. We're getting in Kuku coming. We're getting in August. We're getting this guy named a Russian guy. Zakariatin, I think I say his name. He's coming in August as well. So we've still got 2 players coming in August. We've already got August done. So just get players out for me. Get players out.
I think it is time. It is time to clear it all out. It is time for a cleanup. And I think, unfortunately, it's going to be a lot of heads that some of these fans are not going to want to see roll. Kai Havertz, and of course Mason Mount, Conor Gallagher are players that I think are all going to be out the fucking window. And to be perfectly honest, look, I think it'll be the betterment. It would be for the betterment of Chelsea Football Club. Matt, in your opinion now I know this is coming down to the nitty gritty of the show. We've come down to about an hour. It's about to finish up. Chelsea Football Club this season. What is the best position that they can hope to finish in this Premier League? I know. Look, we can say that it's just going to be the Premier League position that you're looking for right now because nothing else is going to be happening for you guys. Where do you see this Chelsea team right now finishing?
If Graham Potter's still here for the end of the season, I think we finish 12th. We would be lucky to get 40 points. We're at 31 points, and we've got played 24 games. People under us, above us have played 23. So we don't have the best of games coming up. We've got like someone like Leeds tomorrow, who Leeds I think will probably smash us because they are a pressing team. They are a team who are physical, blah, blah, blah. So I think they will definitely probably beat us. And then after that, we have an easy run for the next month, and then we still have to play Arsenal, Liverpool, United. I think we have to play City one more time. So we still have to play all these teams again. I barely see us getting 40 points. I barely see it. So we'll be lucky to finish 12th. We'll be lucky to finish 12th.
Wow. Shit, 12th. Now, Jez is in the chat. Chelsea, Dan, I know you've been around. Yeah. You guys finished 12th. This is taking you back. If Chelsea finished 12th position, this is taking you back to the days where it was the Man Uniteds, the Arsenals, and somewhat the Liverpools sort of fucking making the noise. And Matt, can you believe it? This was achieved in one season. One fucking season. One season, you go from Champions League contenders, Premier League fucking, contenders for the title, to mid-table with Brighton. You're equal points with fucking Aston Villa. I think, Matt, correct me now. Have you guys only won one game this season? This year in the Premier League?
Two this year.
Palace,
Bournemouth.
There you go. Palace and Bournemouth. Honestly, Matt, seriously, Matt, I do not envy Chelsea fans right now. I don't. And look, big up everyone in the chat. Chelsea fans right now, I know you guys are wondering where to from here. But I think the poll itself is saying something. That it's obviously Todd Boehly who's at the fucking wheel and somewhat Potter. And in my opinion, and I don't know if you agree, but Boehly as your owner, unless he takes a step back, just like you were saying, unless he takes a step back, it's going to be a very hard sell for any world-class manager to come in here. Football Capital came in and said Nagelsmann would be a great shout for Chelsea Football Club, right? But again, Football Capital, I saw that and I posted up, I chucked it up there. Again, Football Capital. I think any manager coming into Chelsea Football Club now in the situation that it's in might get a tune out of the players, but will definitely not get a tune out of Boehly. And I think Boehly's going to be the guy who makes Chelsea Football Club a kind of club that most managers aren't going to want to come to. I don't know about you. I just don't think you guys are going to attract a world-class manager. I don't see it. I don't see it with the situation you're in.
As I said, the right money talks. The money talks. If money is involved, money can drag anything with these managers. But you're right. If Bowie comes 3-4 months and he's still showing up to training, he's still telling the manager what to do, this and that, like, we are not going to succeed. And people want to come out here, and say that I'm wrong, blah blah blah. But I was 100% correct on everything when I said back in September, Graham Potter is not the right manager we need. Maybe the world-class manager is what we need, Steve. Maybe someone challenging the owner is what we need. Maybe someone just slapping the owner and go, hey, it's my way or the highway, and just slapping them and saying, well, I want them this way. We'll wake up Bowie. So for me, we got to test the waters out before we kind of, jump to a conclusion, because Potter was never the answer. Potter was one of the worst answers ever. He was far from it. And I think Chelsea fans who thought this was going to work out, and I think, I have sympathy for Chelsea fans who thought it was going to work out. Even though I did. I thought maybe, maybe he does have it in him. Because we were sort of dream with 600 million, with the prop that we got, all this media attention, blah, blah. We thought it was going to work. And I come here, I say the truth. I say the truth, not my truth, not our truth. I say the truth on the club. And the truth is that we're on a downfall. I predicted our downfall. To rise back from our fall, we need to get some authoritarian manager who will step up to the players, who's to Mason Mount, get the fuck out of my club. And stick up to Bowie. You got it, and that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't mind the Jose just for 6 months to kind of say, hey, my way or the highway, and then we can get another manager on the way. Just someone else that's on Potter. I mean, we're so desperate that I'm hearing calls, but just get me like anyone. Like Nagelsmann, I don't care who it is. I'm hearing calls. I would take Zidane. Who?
Steve Bruce in?
Give me Sam. Give me Big Sam. I'll take Big Sam. I'm not desperate. Give me Big Sam.
Right.
No, we're not that desperate.
No, that's not that bad. It's not that bad. It could be fun. At least it'll be interesting.
It would be interesting. It'll be crazy. It'll be very so interesting with Potter. But I would take as Zidane. Zidane who doesn't speak English, I'll take over Graham Potter. Just give me another manager, because as I said, we won a Champions League with the average squad. Winning the Champions League showed to me that anything is possible in the Champions League. You can have a garbage squad but a world-class manager, and they will succeed. So for me, you get a world-class manager in a good team, you will succeed. You don't have a bad manager in a world-class team. That's not how it works. We had a world-class manager in an average team, and we won the Champions League. We got top 4, came 3rd. So what can we do with a world-class manager in a world-class team?
Yeah. Look, the sky's the limit then. The sky's the limit. And you know what it is? I look at Chelsea Football Club, and I'm just going to finish up here. I look at Chelsea Football Club. When Roman came in, you had the perfect owner who then looked for the best possible manager, the best possible staff, and it comes from the top. And if you guys get that dynamic back, and look, Chelsea, Dan, you've seen it, right? You knew where you guys were. Look at where you guys are, right? This is not banter. You can banter all you want. You banter in the chat, and I'm not going to put it up because we're not here bantering. Matt, you're a Chelsea fan. I'm an Arsenal fan. Have I bantered you?
Nah.
Not once. Not once. We are talking about Chelsea. We are talking about the problems that they have. So there's no banter here at all. I think the dynamic that you guys had under Roman is going to be a hard one to build. But that's Rome. That's what Rome was built on for you guys. You know what I mean? Your Rome was built on, the right manager, the right owner. I think Boehly, needs to take a step back. I think he has to say, look, you know what? Boop, boop. I'm just going to sit back here. I'm going to be the cash cow, just like it was when Mourinho was around and Roman Abramovich was around, where it's like, I want Drogba. Who's Drogba? I want Drogba. Who is he even? Buy Drogba. And the rest is history. Do you get what I'm saying? So Potter, yes, does he need to be backed? I think he does, but I think he's been backed into a corner now, and I think his time at Chelsea is done and dusted. I don't see him getting sacked this season. I think that'll be too much for Todd Boehly's ego.
There was actually a report. That I don't know how true it is, but Matt Law, one of our Chelsea correspondents, kind of said that if he doesn't win this league game, apparently his manager position's at risk. They had a meeting and they said if he doesn't win the leagues, I think if he doesn't win Dortmund, he's gone. Apparently, he's gone.
Well, that's at the end of the day, he'll be out the window. He'll collect his cash and move on to another club, and then it'll be about trying to find the right piece to the puzzle. Guys, everyone in the chat, much appreciated. If you guys haven't seen the banner that I've been that little ticker that's down there, subliminal messages here on the Aussie Gooner channel, right? I need you guys to jump over to Matt's channel. The link is in the description. And Matt, please, can you just shout out your channel?
Yeah, it's at ZVOII_. I'm live kind of whenever I'm free. Everyone knows on my channel knows whenever I'm free. I just hit, I think, 1K a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, I just stream whenever I say I don't say my truth, I don't say our truth, I say the truth. That's what I always say. Say the truth about Chelsea. I mean, I predicted half of this. That's why people watch me, and I'll probably be live. I'm not, Steve, I'll finish with this. I'm not watching this Leeds game tonight. I'm not watching it.
No way. Come on, dude. It's a good time.
2 a.m. No, I can't. I've watched, I think, every Chelsea game since I think the last one I didn't watch. I can't remember the last Chelsea game I didn't watch. But I'm not watching this game because I just don't. They don't deserve my time. Nothing's changed. If Potter is still here, for the Leeds game, I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to waste my time at 2 a.m. to watch that when I got stuff to do tomorrow. Like if we were really serious about winning and we sacked Potter before we go into Manchester, yeah, I would watch it. But we're not a serious club anymore, so I'm not going to watch a serious team, play. Who again, I don't think a lot of them even want to be here. They have a shit mentality. They got no urgency. Even there's new players that came in, I see no mentality from them. So I'll watch the Dortmund game because the Dortmund game will dictate Potter's future. And that's the only thing that we're looking forward to is the Dortmund game. Because if we lose the Dortmund game, season's done. What's the point of me watching Leicester, Everton, the next game? There's no point. Season's done.
It's over. It's in the bin, isn't it? It's pretty much done and dusted.
It's finished.
It becomes a kickabout with the boys now. That's about it.
Pretty much. Just kick about. Let's see what goes. Train. Get. It's like pre-season. You get your fitness up for next season.
The free hit.
But yeah, so I'll be live. So I'll be live tomorrow at 10 a.m. UK time. So stay tuned for that, guys. 10 a.m. UK time, I'll be there. But big up to you, Gola Star, for subbing. As to Chelsea, Dan, you want to keep chatting shit, send me your link. We can chat there because you got fans like this. And I'll finish up with this. You got the same. It's the same people. People say that 20 years ago we were the same. We finished 8th. Nothing competes to this. This is the worst Chelsea season since the Roman era, because we just spent 600 million and we're 10th. Nothing. And the season's not done. Season's not done.
And when I saw 600 million spent, and you know what it feels like? It felt like you grabbed a 6-year-old and you go, sweetheart, can you go down to the shops and do the grocery shopping for the week? And they just came back with chocolate. That's what it looks like. A whole bunch of chocolate. So now we're just going to be eating fucking chocolate till the fucking end of the week, because that's what it looks like to me. But look, guys, if you haven't already done so, please like, share, subscribe, turn on the notifications bell. Look, Spade A Spade show is a serious show. We try to, we have a bit of a laugh, but we discuss real issues. You know what I mean? So it's always going to be one-on-one. It's always going to be straight facts. It's always going to be Arsenal cap aside, even though the background's here. But guys, look, from the Aussie Gooner, from everyone here in Australia, my guy here in Australia, everybody in the chat, thank you very much. Guys, it's Uru, guys. Uru.